Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, all right. So that was crazy. Let's kind of recap a little bit what just happened. So, Father Demetrius petitioned the church with all the miracles and all the documentation, everything, arguing to become the voice of God for the church. The council, after much arguing and back and forth and deliberation, agreed. Under one very specific talking point of order, though, in order for them to agree to have Demetrius become prophet of the Church of Abadar, they must give up or renounce their House Rotova, which is a pretty big deal.
I paid a lot of points at character creation to be affiliated with that house, Eric.
Well,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
you technically will still have those affiliations. You aren't part of that house anymore. Like, it's not like all of a sudden those people forget who you are, right? It's just now people are just like, yeah, but you're also kind of just like in the church now. You're like some church dude.
So that would depend on how well his family take it, right? Because if he's like, I am no longer a member of the Sotovans, I renounce my allegiance to the house, and they're like, you what?
Okay,
mate?
bye.
Then,
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would lose the affiliation. So
you can lose affiliation and reputation and so on as part of play.
So we'll see how my cousin takes it, but I can't imagine she's going to take it very well.
I don't think anyone's ever renounced the Sotovan name.
Probably not.
You might be the first of your family to ever do
Here's
this.
the thing is, like, there's probably there's no precedent for what happens when somebody's named a prophet because it hasn't happened in 1,000 whatever years. So I think, like, the church, by doing this, is, like, deciding that, like, oh, like, part of being a prophet is, like, you give up your last name. Or I was just talking about this with Daniel, and we were thinking, like, maybe it could potentially be the Pope thing, where it's like Father Demetrius Sirtova dies in this room, and, like, he takes a new name.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. You become the prophet something, and then boy, that's gonna throw a lot of things. Boy, man, AP's gonna come back and be like, "What?"
Yeah, Demetrius is gonna have a tough conversation with Count Swan at some point.
Yeah, your wedding. Oh, your wedding's probably gonna be off too, man.
Yeah, I know.
So that's gonna that's gonna suck that's gonna be a big problem now for AP as well, because now that's fallen through.
It depends if we can convince the Levetians that actually they're looking up. Now there are plenty of sons of House Sertova. There's only one prophet of Abadar.
Yeah,
it's all a great question.
Yeah.
Actually, you Sam, you succeeded at like wooing your Elena, right? Like, from the perspective of Abadar will always be first, but I will have room for you too. Like that, you succeeded at that, right? I'm not crazy. You didn't fail.
No, yeah, that's right.
I convinced her. I convinced her that she can be my.
So, excuse me.
Yeah,
here,
but the big
this can. I hold up this can here. It's full of worms. You can't see it, but this can of worms here. I'm just leaving it here. Maybe the heir of House Lebeda would get this crazy idea of eloping with her lover, which would be a huge political fuck up.
So yeah, but I know exactly what the Lebedans will ask in order to maintain this.
Well, let's get to that. So the first thing is, I think Demetrius will have to take a suitably Roman-sounding name, because I've been using all of those, like, biblical, like, ancient Roman names for, like, the ancient prophets. So what should his name be?
Wow. Yikes.
I'm trying to generate a good one.
The prophet Cicero.
The prophet what?
Cicero.
I could do that. I mean,
I think you should pick one. I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
His new name is Cassius Aurelius.
Nice.
Or actually, no, Sulius Aurelius. But it would be the Prophet Aurelius. So I will write
Like
that.
Marcus Aurelius?
Exactly. That is where I stole it from, because he is the coolest of all of the Roman emperors by far, including Julius.
So he's the Prophet Aurelius? Sulius?
Sulius.
Yeah,
Aurelius.
type it into Roll20 chat.
Sulius Aurelius, the first of his name.
And I'll come up with some other good titles that they give me.
You're going to have to... Okay.
By the grace of Abadar, his revered excellency.
Yeah, I mean...
The prophets, Sulius Aurelius, by the divine light of civilization, may he hold the key that guides us.
So, there we go. Yeah, Sulius Aurelius. How do you publicly renounce the House Ortova?
So I think it's part of so I think so what the way it happens is like there's this like whole thing is like after this argument, and Demetrius like stands before them and says, fine, then let die in this room Father Demetrius Antonin Lucian Arsini Sertova, and let be born the Prophet Sulius Aurelius. And I'm sure they'll give me plenty of other titles. And I'll say, as my first decree, let the people know that the Prophet of Abadar has been found, and he in turn has seen the chosen. Let it be known that I have given up my ties to the Shatova family as is necessary for one who is to be the voice of his God. And let it be known that Count Ronald Swan is the chosen that shall lead us through the coming darkness.
Nice. This is... How would that even... Oh, it's so good.
Wow.
Is there like... I'm imagining like there would have to be some kind of huge public ceremony for this. Like standing on a scaffold and like professing to the world and everyone who will hear it that you have renounced your title and your name and become a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, since it's the church, you probably
everyone in Brevoy knows you now.
Yeah, but because I think what happens first is like they have to send out like the notice so that people can gather for the ceremony, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also that'll give Eric plenty of time to have my cousin try to mess everything up.
Yeah, like maybe they set the like in within this or that time frame, or upon the next cusp of the crescent moon, or something like that.
I'm just imagining the Queen Natala like getting this, like somebody being like, I found this piece of paper, and she's just like, you
Mother, yeah.
It's like an interview with a very scared palace guard who's like, I didn't know one could actually vomit hatred. I didn't know.
Yeah. And now, like, what is she going to do? Boy, what is she going to do to fucking Count Ronald Swan?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Like, I mean, if she extends the blame to him, that is going to be hilarious.
Of course. That, she's going to need him to convince you to renege on this deal. Which, not going to happen.
Nope. Look at the zealot. Look at the zealot in his corner, renouncing his land, his claim, and his titles.
Yeah, but you are now the head of the Abadarian faith, essentially. You're not the Hierophant, but you are the voice of the god. And the Hierophant kind of listens to you now.
Good stuff.
Dude, yeah.
Maybe we should have a scene with Mason.
Yeah, let's do some stuff with Mason, because, like, hopefully that doesn't ruin AP's plans even more so. He's gonna.
Definitely
Dude, I cannot wait to
That's
see
burning
what.
wheel.
Yeah,
Just complicate them.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what chat's gonna what the burning wheel chat's gonna be this week about being like, oh my god, this ruins all of my plans.
Just like a tirade of passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Just-
I'm gonna write up some notes for AP too.
It's so good.
I whispered him at break, being like, Demetrius, to be prophet, must forsake his house. AP just writes, oh boy. Just wrote, oh boy. That's yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So Mason, let's do some stuff with you, buddy.
Okay. So I'm imagining, just because it seems appropriate, that we may be cut forward to the following day or something.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Mason, like Demetrius wouldn't just walk out of the Temple of Abaddon and be like, "Sup, you can go now. I'm
No.
Jesus."
No, that's why I think Queen Natalia will she's probably gonna be looking at you, Mason, being like, this is why I need a fucking demon to be like, get me ahead of this shit. Like,
Oh dear.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that pans out. But okay, yeah. So I'm good for a scene of doing something on the following
yeah.
day.
I'm not convinced that having a demon here could be any worse than the shit that's falling on me right now. Right?
I don't have a head for politics.
I wonder how long does Mason wait before she decides that Demetrius is just not going to be coming out anytime soon.
I think like until sundown, they just sit there for hours, just like hoping for the best, hoping you're okay, and then eventually like a church boy wearing like the simple robes of a Franciscan friar or something like comes out and politely informs them that it's gonna rain soon and he's not coming out anytime soon. So it's like, you should go home, okay?
Oh, you know what she does? Know what this is, Mason? The conversation between Natalia and you. She's like, this is Count Ronald put him up to this, didn't he? He put him up to this. He's probably pissed because we nominated Haas Manning to be a Duke, isn't he? He's doing this to get back at me, isn't he?
Oh god.
Question.
I look forward to having that conversation. Okay, so you know what? Maybe the scene the following day is Mason. I have a belief about trying to investigate the vanishing in the library of the North Tower that we've yet to establish to the viewing audience. Like,
one thing though.
Maybe she comes and interrupts me then.
Yeah, no, she does, and she's just like ranting about this and how upsetting this is and exactly why she needs it while you're trying to study.
I have one note. When Mason gets back to her room that night, it's just covered in roses, just like vases everywhere with roses.
Oh god!
And there's a note, but you can't read it at all.
No,
like it's just like an unintelligible scribble.
That's like perfume paper that says nothing.
Yes. Oh boy. Oh no, jeez. Okay.
It has like a 4-year-old's attempt at the alphabet and then a heart drawn on it. Oh no, gods. Okay, yeah. So that happened. So
it's like an elementary school Valentine. Do you like me? Like, yes, no.
Yes, no,
But
maybe.
like the E the wrong way.
Yes, no, maybe. Let's talk about it after lunch. So yeah, okay. So after returning from a long day of waiting and like being emotionally exasperated, and then coming back home and deciding, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna leave Demetrius to do what he does. I'm sure he will let me know when something happens. I decide to get in some studying. I am only just like ascending the steps to the 3rd level of the tower. I open like a big, like a steel-clad door into my laboratory. I approach one of the locked cabinets. I open them and I extract from within one of the cabinets like an old monster hide-bound tome covered in like reddish scales and like little bone fragments. That is like the element. I pull that out. I place it on the lectern. I open it up, and just as I'm about to immerse myself in this thing, like the fucking queen knocks on the fucking door.
Yep. No, she doesn't knock on the door. She just opens it.
She just comes in.
It is
comes in.
absolutely barred from within. I will literally tie a rope around the handle if I have to do that to get privacy.
Okay.
So, okay, yes, I open the door.
Okay. And she's
Your
like,
Majesty.
she just wants to rant and just tell you about the shit that's going on right now. Just be like, and that's when we hear the stuff about Count Ronald. This is Count Ronald doing this.
This is Count Ronald doing what?
Oh, he's so upset over the stupid quarrels with House Manning. Instead of seeing the bigger picture, he's upset. He's upset because I told him that House Leveton troops couldn't help him out with the bandit problem. Which, okay, it's only because he's naive, he doesn't see it, but he's cute, and he does this. He retaliates to me by getting his cousin, his best friend, since the Stolen Lands, to renounce his name. Demetrius, it's no longer Demetrius Titover. He's going by some like prophet something.
Okay, so
This should be illegal. This should be banned.
I'm imagining as she's saying this,
I could strangle him.
I realize she's not listening, right? I'm like, okay, tell me more, and she's not, right? She's just like ranting.
Yeah.
So I'm like starting to probe her, being like, you really shouldn't be in here. The fumes can give you a headache. And she's like, keeps talking. I'm like,
It's my castle. I can be where I want. Oh, this is so annoying. Like, why is this happening? This is why I need you to do your job here. Like, this is why I need you to spend all your time doing this.
I accidentally spilled a powder that could kill you if you stay here. And I'm convinced she's not listening. Right?
No, she's not. She's literally just not listening.
This is why I need you to summon me devils, because that'll make everything better.
Yeah. No, it would be. Like, I need to get ahead of this.
I wait for her to be done, right? So
yeah, and she's like
she's pacing back and forth in the room.
You know what she does? Dude, oh, man. Yeah, I know it. No, she probably, like, breaks some stuff in the place. She, like, she's, like, moves, like, she, like, throws stuff off a desk to sit on it.
So I
like,
keep on,
like,
I'm shocked, like, at the first time she does it, I'm like, oh, what are you doing, right? Like, in my mind, I'm like, there's a loud internal scream when she does that. It was like... Internally screaming, yeah. And then realizing, like, I'm just, like, keeping a watchful eye on her, being like, if she moves close to something I consider to be really important, I'll just be like, no.
Yeah. No, she's finally calmed down and done, and she's like, whew. Well... And she, like, compose herself again. Sorry about that. Do you need anything?
Did I need anything? Well, Your Majesty.
I hope you found this place to be satisfactory.
It is certainly something. I will say that. It is quite the gift you have bestowed upon me. I say, looking to the stuff she wrecked. I'm like,
Oh, I hope that wasn't important. Look, it should not be that far. Like... How close are we to this now?
Yes. So I look pensive. I'm thinking on her question, right? I'm like, well.
I think I'm gonna need to have this timeline moved up from the King's Moot based on these changes.
Do you remember our initial conversation, Your Majesty? Queen Dowager. Do you remember you asked me to do this within a year, and I told you that it would. Ideally require more than a year, but you said a year nonetheless. It has not started requiring any less time to do it safely in the time that you have been finding out about your cousin. So you moving up the timeline, while ill-advised and stupid and bad idea in general, is doable insofar as you're willing to risk it.
Wow.
You're an idiot. But if you want to keep being an idiot, I'm okay with that.
Yes, I will support your idiocy, Your Majesty.
Boy, that's not the right thing to say to her.
I'm being more pleasant about it, but yeah, that is the stroke of it. I'm like, you need to calm down and smell the roses.
Yeah, this is soothing platitudes, isn't it?
You're asking me to open a door to hell and like stick my hand in there. You
Yeah.
better understand that this needs to be done carefully. And I guess there's a test here.
Yeah, no, it is. She needs you to do this sooner, and like,
Sure.
she's like,
So-
I don't care what the cost is.
Oh, well, that's an entirely different kettle of fish.
Right.
Then. I guess that's why I'm willing to have this conversation. Then is because
Yeah.
she says that. So I'm like, I have an intent. I have a
I'm
definite-
sorry, you mistake me for someone who gives a damn.
Well, speaking of damn, Your Majesty, I say.
Yeah, she's like, huh. Interesting given the circumstances. Yeah. Yeah.
I could certainly try to do it faster. It is just incredibly ill-advised, but I will still do it. You should understand, though, and this is perhaps very important. I want you to be very clear with yourself that this is what you want. And I please don't fuss up at me. I see you there. I realize you're going through some stuff, although I don't know exactly what, and I don't know you as a person that well. But and I've never had a cousin who became a prophet, so I can't relate. But I just want to be sure that this is what you well and truly want. Because I came to be of the impression that your paramour was trying to dissuade you from conjuring up hell. And
Well, that's before he became a vindictive asshole. And
I'm not convinced he became a vindictive asshole. Could you inform me what leads you to believe that?
it's his fault. He's the one who must have convinced my cousin to do this.
But no, I can assure you that Demetrius has had these considerations long before yesterday. I don't know that you're aware of this. I say, she's sitting on like a work table, and
Yeah.
I sit next to her, and like I act very familial. I'm like, I need to talk to you as a person right now, right? So I'm like, I don't know that you're aware of this. Your cousin talks to God.
It's so good.
I'm dead serious. I know that people say the priests talk to God and God works in mysterious ways and so on and so forth. Demetrius is an actual, honest to every divine creature, miracle worker. I have seen it with my own naked eyes, and I don't mean I have seen smoke and mirrors. I have seen the divine manifestation of Abadar, Lord and Savior of civilization, emit from without his prayer and his manifestation. He, understandably, I should think, is given to a very different branch of spiritual pursuits than what you would be.
He's renounced his family.
I'm sure he still loves you as a cousin. All the same, so
No.
yeah, I don't want to keep harping on
He's
this.
nothing. He renounced his family. I don't care if he is Abadar himself. He renounced his family.
You mean to kill him?
I don't know yet. Look, I've been talking to some other people about this project that we're doing.
Who in the wide world could you ever speak to about that? I am so
thought-
curious.
I thought you
Independent
could-
contractors.
No, yeah. I thought you could be using some assistance.
You are absolutely correct.
So I took the liberty upon myself here to provide you some assistance. In fact, actually someone to help co-lead this project. They'll be here
Wait, who is this?
in a few
Whom
weeks'
do you
time.
speak of? Whom do you speak of? Name this person.
What's their name? I need to find
Eric
it.
hasn't named it.
Yeah, I haven't named it yet, but they are a
I wish to
Oh
know.
no,
if
you know what
know-
it is. Yeah, no, it's the Well, let me give him the name, but it's actually someone from Cheliax.
Oh shit.
Someone who actually has.
So
the
they'll get
song.
here. It will take a while for them to get here, but
I just, so when I hear of this person, I want to make sure, like, do I know of this person? Is this person like someone I know of as a gifted, or is this not a gifted? Is this a
Karsten?
just a person?
No. So it's Professor Karsten Wagner, and they are
Karsten Wagner, a renowned sorcerer,
Diabloist. Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
Arcane. Yeah, like he teaches at the university in Chiliax kind of stuff, right?
So I guess I should ask this about the fiction just before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of sorcery vanished from Brevoy when the vanishing happened, which is like one of the reasons Mason feels incredibly alone. Is there reason to believe this happened outside of Brevoy? Like, are all other nations just like, we have wizards and priests in abundance, but Brevoy sucks?
I don't know yet. I think actually I'm going to retcon a little bit and say that this all has to do with the disappearance of Abaddon or whatever, Eridan.
Oh, yeah.
Where magic disappeared, and so some people have some magic, and obviously Chiliax recovered magic quickly by consulting to demons, and so they probably have this stuff. But everyone else is like, oh fuck, they don't want. I don't want to touch that shit. And
I think Mason is elated at hearing this. Like, there is a moment where they're like their facade of just like pleasant.
Well, yeah, the idea of you going to Chiliax would be so like, that's like going literally to like, oh, I want to go study in Tibet, right? Like it's such an impossible journey without airplanes or anything like that. Like it's not, unless you have a lot of money, unless you have a literal nation to fund you to come here. They're personally bringing this person over.
Yeah, so I am awash in feelings of like, I get to meet another practitioner like me. You have no idea. And I'm feeling this incredible, like, sudden, like, this rush of loneliness again, where I'm like, all the like, abandonment I've been feeling is like, just rushes to the surface. But then I'm like, it's mixed with this pleasant feeling of, well, I'm going to meet and talk to someone else. I can share this fucking burden. I'm so fucking happy at this, and then I'm also, but there's that little voice that's like, he's a Diabolist, beware.
Yeah, he's literally like the worst kind of person, but he's the only one available.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so Mason's like looking at her, she's like,
listen, I put a lot of strings for this guy.
I guess that is your queenly prerogative. I will accept the partnership of this person. I am very sure we could benefit from his assistance. I have to, of course, assume that you will still be honoring our deal. This tower belongs to me, not him.
Yeah, about that.
Yes, about that, Your Majesty.
This tower belonged to both of you. The tower is for purposes of the project. It's not your own private house.
Yes, fine. The tower can belong to whomever, but the objects contained within are given to me as per our agreement. Yes?
For lease, not ownership.
For lease, Your Majesty. You asked me to open the door to hell, and all I asked in return was these objects that you had stored in your basement.
And all I get from you are excuses.
You have given me 3 days since last you asked this. 3 days in which I have had to deal with you and your paramour bouncing me back and forth like you're sharing the same chess piece. And even in that...
That's not my fault. You do not know how to manage your time.
Mason is starting to realize the problem with making deals with queens.
Yeah.
Insofar as
they expect everything from you. Yeah, to drop everything, to talk to them, to everything, and somehow find time to actually do your job. Yes, it's unreasonable. They are being extremely unreasonable right now of your time and yourself.
I haven't had time to do what you asked, Your Majesty, but you cannot expect that the project I asked for 3 years for will be completed in 3 days. Even in your distraught state, you cannot be this blind.
See, I see this as a problem of a lack of motivation.
I see. Then, if you don't mind, I would have you leave this tower before you renege on any more of your promises, so I can get back to work.
Good. and work you shall do. And you're going to hear. She's going to lock you in this tower until you do something, until you produce some sort of not conjure a demon per se, but produce some fruit of your labor to show her.
Show me some magic, man.
You will have the tower, right? You will stay and you are to remain in this tower until you have some fruit to bear for me.
I squint at her and I'm like, I realize what she's doing, and Mason sees it as a temper tantrum. And instead, just acknowledge, yeah, fine, we'll play by your rules. I'm fine with that. So I nod to her and I'm like, very well, so it shall be. However, this curfew of yours, this house arrest that you think you can place me under, will be evoked tonight at sundown, not now. There are matters that must be tended to outside of this tower if you want this to proceed at all. I will take my leave now to deal with my business outside, and then I shall return and I shall do as you have asked. And I would expect your paramour to come to you with this. I am quietly convinced that he will be of the same opinion of you as you currently are of him. Unfairly believing you are vindictively messing with his plans. And
she will not. No, she blocks the door. She will not let you go through. She's like,
turn her into a newt.
You will stay here until you're thinking.
Turn her into a newt. No, I won't. I can't yet.
She's like, get. I will summon Count Ronald for you. He can handle your business that you need to do this evening. You have work to do.
I don't need him. I need a professional in spiritual matters that are not relating to your brother, I'm afraid. You do understand the importance of spiritual matters when dealing with hell, yes?
Sure. I will. You are to remain here. We will have someone summon them for you.
Will you? I am very pleased that you would make such an effort on my behalf. Fine. I shall require to speak with the head of the Order of Pharasma.
Very well. And they close the door.
I expect to see them before sundown. I shall get back to work.
Yeah.
Good day,
very well. Yeah, that's fine.
Damn it! I didn't get a test for this. Okay, I was
fictionally blocking you. I was hoping you would do a test to persuade her to do this.
Oh hell yeah, I will.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you want to fictionally change this now, put something forward here to let you go through. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're waiting for me to do a test and not just no, I was stonewalling you to be no, I want to make a test to make this happen. Yeah, sure. Is what I mean when I do that. Okay. So yeah,
absolutely. My bad. I am going to.
You need to get her to let you through because you have business to do tonight.
Yes.
So this is just against her will of 5.
Okay.
Right. Whatever social skill I assume you want to do.
I want to persuade her while I'm being I need to go and do this. You understand? This is important.
Yeah. So let's bring this to the mechanics.
And I assume the failure condition is what you mentioned, that she will not abide by that.
Yep.
There we go. That's not sufficient, but let's spend a fate anyway.
Wait, is that... You don't have Persuade?
No.
Okay. Well, okay.
Oh, there we go.
So not enough, but yeah.
Yep. So, okay. Very well. I shall stay here under your confinement until you can summon that person. I shall return to my work now, Your Majesty. Please, if you don't mind, I would request you position a valet in the tower so I can send messages out of this building for stuff like, things I need to do the thing you asked.
And so it was. Done.
Yes. Good. And now I want to return to my studies, because that is what I was here for.
Door closes. Door closes.
Ladies hissy fit.
Door closes.
Delightful. So
dealing with Queen sucks.
I love her. I am going to take great pleasure in killing her. I have a belief that I need to investigate this trove of secrets that is the tower for stuff about the vanishing. So I mean to do so. Yes. I would like to go through the stuff that is here. I realized that. Actually, I have a question for you. How do you want to play this? Because it's my understanding that the vanishing is a big important thing that I'm not likely to just be able to find the answer to here. So do you want to like play it as make an op 10 test and then the complication will be I have to also look somewhere else? Or do you want to break it down into smaller parts and be like, if you make an op 3 test, you will find this thing in the tower that leads you here?
Oh, like a gradated, like a graduated test?
Yeah, like would you like to start a clock that is like the investigation of the vanishing or something like that?
Yeah, I think let's do it that way. Let's start breaking down the vanishing.
Cool. In that case, my intent is to, insofar as this is a valid way of phrasing it, to uncover as much as the tower has to offer about the vanishing and advance that clock. Advance my understanding by whatever fictional relevance you want to bring to bear. Because I have no idea what caused it.
Yeah, so this will probably be through doing a bunch of like, this is literally research.
Yeah, it sounds like a research
You're
test.
literally researching. This is and you're stuck in the tower doing the research. So you're stuck to the confines of whatever's in this tower. However, you're also around pretty much as many like occult-ish ritualist books and history that could be available to you outside of the church itself, right?
Yes. And this is definitely also Mason, like basically reacting to the queen. Right? It's like, you need to research this now. Okay, I will. And then I start doing something unrelated.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, well, you find, obviously, so you found a book that seems to have something related to it, but it's obviously ancient and obscure, so you're going to need to do some kind of like...
a reading test.
No, let's do a research test first to see if you can find the books, and then the second one would be obscure history to like decipher it.
Yeah, so actually there is a page, I think page 38, there's something called written instruction, which I think is a rule that would work perfectly for this.
What's that?
Page 38. It's
38?
It's basically... Yeah. Up top, it's occasionally the character will stumble upon a set of instructions in a game, an item or some information that can aid them. All instructions must be given a complexity obstacle by the GM. Simple and clear stuff that can be easily transmitted through text and illustrations is up 1 or 2. More complex illustrations like those that teach martial arts or how to build a trebuchet are
really
3 to 5.
arcane yeah.
And stuff goes up. And then you make a reading or research test against that obstacle, and then you get a bonus for having the reference when you research.
Yeah. Okay. So then, let's do a research test to see if you can basically conjure up this written instruction to help you.
Delightful. What is the failure condition here?
Oh boy.
Is
the failure condition?
Kind of complication?
Yeah. Well, I think the failure condition would be, I will actually start advancing another clock. I don't think I actually have it up here, but I think it's going to be something to do with your visions and stuff. Basically, your prophecies are coming.
So it's like a kind of madness in the books or something, like a spiritual significance transmitted through the text that if I fail to comprehend it will exacerbate my visions.
Exactly. That basically you're getting led down the wrong path, and your things are getting worse.
Cool.
Avadar wants to shove you back onto the right path.
So if I fail, I still advance the vanishing clock, but I also advance the prophecy clock?
No, this is this is discover. I should be discover the vanishing clock. Yeah. And then this would be, I don't know if I should write prophecy. It should be something more like madness or something.
Doom.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I say doom prophecy.
It is already plenty bad.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Yep.
So I am going to take my time doing this. I'm going to fork as much as I can. I'm going to, as I am reading through this manuscript of ancient symbols and like old drawings and diagrams, I would like to fork my knowledge of symbols and symbology in understanding what is presented to me in the text.
Yeah.
I would like to use the fact that I can read. I would like to fork read for my research. That seems like very relevant.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is... Oh boy, this probably would not be... Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it now. This probably wouldn't be written. No, this one would be. This early one. So this is OB2. This is gonna be an OB2 research test to find the right book in this library. Because this is probably the best book you can probably find on the Vanishing here that would be written in.
That is a great complication.
In common.
That's a great complication. If I fail, then that is the only tome that is available in common here, and I would have to get out of the tower to acquire some other means of pursuing.
Someone else has it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Someone else has it.
All right. So reading, symbology, sorcery, definitely sorcery. This is a library of sorcerer stuff. Forging sorcery seems applicable. Mm-hmm. Secrets-wise, because guess what I'm doing? This is me researching history, so I shall call on the fact that I have history. I will of course use astrology because I can always fork astrology, and I need it.
Would the OB go up because the library is not curated?
yeah, that's a good point.
Like, because it's like so messy.
Yeah. So it's probably OB3.
I mean, you're going to succeed either way, but...
I don't think Great Masters-wise is applicable.
I don't think so.
Okay. Research. 6 modifiers. OB3. Go. Just scraping by. Ooh. Okay, success.
Wow. You just got that. Yep.
So
it's an account of... It's actually written. It's a journal written by one of the advisors to Coral the Conqueror himself.
Awesome.
It's probably something about literally about the early conquests of Brevoy, right? And it mentions how periodically during the campaign to take over Brevoy, Coral the Conqueror would frequently have nightmares in his tents, and he wouldn't let anyone know. Or he wouldn't call them nightmares. He would just say that he would have loud visions of battle and stuff in his head.
Sure. And no one was allowed to know, but
no one was allowed in the tent when this was happening.
Sure. Awesome. That's awesome. So this is I read this and I kind of get this ominous feeling of dread that I sense a connection to what could potentially lead to me discovering something about the Vanishing. This is it feels like the beginning of something.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Right. So that is me doing that. Next up, I guess.
Yeah, Coral. The Conqueror was doing something, or knew that something was going on about something.
Okay.
But it's
That's really awesome. I need to name this advisor, dude.
Yeah.
At one point.
The other big thing, I guess the other big thing would be there's no source of information of where Coral got these dragons.
Oh, that's cool. No one knows where the dragons came from.
Yeah. There's no, it's basically you research stuff you couldn't find. You do not find information on the early accounts of their invasions of so they're talking about all the men from, all the stuff from the various Iobarian tribes and stuff that came over. No. But from the north and stuff, but no one knows where these dragons came from. Everyone's Coral united them with dragons, and that's period. They don't, but where did Coral come from? Where did he get these dragons? They don't know.
I'm doing modern historical analysis. I'm this guy says this happened, but what's more interesting is the fact that he didn't mention this other thing that we also know.
Exactly. They don't mention it.
Yeah, cool. I dig this. So I start. I think. So. This is a thing I want to have happen. So I have this. Mason has a personal item, an item of personal value, a personal effect, as it's called, which is a book that was left to them by their master. And in this moment where they're locked in the tower and doing this research, they kind of feel this this oppressed sense of needing to return to something that's comfortable. So they put their research on hold for a moment and like
totally
reach into their possessions and find this like this hidebound tome with a rune in front of it, and open it up and just take solace in my master's words. And as I'm like just paging through stuff I've read 10 times over, and like I already know what's on the next page, but I still read it because I find some kind of comfort in the text. I spy what I know is there. I know it's in the book, but I haven't been thinking about it for a long time. There is the last like swath of pages in the book are bound in this like black silk band. And I remember the words of my master telling me that when the time comes that it feels like the world is the heaviest and I have no one to lean on, is the right time to address those pages. That is when I should go to those pages and not a moment before. So feeling this like weight on my shoulders and not really knowing what else to do, I flip through the entire book and come to the end, come to the handful of pages that are bound in ribbon. And as I do so, I untie the ribbon and I open to the first page of that, and I see it's blank. And I flip through more of the book, and it's just blank and blank and blank. And not understanding, I flip back to the first page again, and I see that on the opposite page, like the page just before that, it says, here ends the accounts of Harkon called Many Shapes. Here begins the accounts of the Sorceress Mason.
Oh!
And feeling this incredible like weight in my heart, in my chest, like release. I have a tear forming in the corner of my eye as I remember my master, and I put quill to ink, and I start like jotting down what I found out about the vanishing.
Thus begins the accounts of the research of Mason into sorcerer. Do you call yourself sorcerer general? Mason?
No, I start out very humble in like contrary to my arrogant trait. I start out like basically here follows the accounts of the sorcerer known as Mason, apprentice to the Grandmaster Harkon Many Shapes of the esoteric order of the Nethesian Eye. Blessed was I to have such a master. These are my discoveries into the subject of the vanishing. The curse that swept the nation of Brevoy, the former kingdoms of Isia and Rogaria. These are my discoveries, and then it follows from there.
Perfect. That's awesome.
That's
cool. I thought the research test was going to be a link test for you though, for something else, right? Before we get too sucked into that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what exactly it was you wanted to do again. You wanted to actually. You tell me.
No, so what I wanted to do was just further my research on the vanishing. That is what I set out to do, right? I understand that is something that will take a lot of time because reading takes time, and reading old weird script take longer.
Yeah.
And deciphering ancient diagrams takes even longer. So I'm just like hunkering down and doing that until such a time that a representative of Pharasma arrives.
Let's see, obscure text-wise. Let's see if there's an obscure. I thought obscure history was a test.
Yeah, let's do that.
I thought obscure history was a skill. I'm sorry.
It's probably there is a lot of sub-genres of the history skill.
Oh, that's right. It's under history. Boop, boop, boop. God, there's so many skills in this game.
There is.
Yep, history, obscure. History.
Yeah, obscure history. Yeah. It's right there.
Okay. So this will probably be something like to learn more about. Let's talk a little bit more. What do you want to learn exactly right now? Do you want to learn more about who wrote this book? Do you want to learn more about Coral the Conqueror? Like, what do you want?
I need to formulate a basis for continuing the research. I want to understand who are the voices that speak on this subject. Right? It's not about, and now I flip to the page that holds the secret. It's now I flip to the page
that will point you to the next step. Yeah,
I cross the threshold is what I want to do.
Yeah. Okay. So here's some key things that I think then we can learn here from the history test. I think this history test will help get you in the directions. This will help identify the notables that will help you out here in your research.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So this would be a history test.
I'm going to
Op 3.
Absolutely. Okay, Op 3. I am going to fork the hell out of research. I'm going to fork the hell out of philosophy, because philosophy is like literally applying school of thought to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to fork reading, because reading is nice.
And I'm doing. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to fork great masters wise, because these people I'm looking up, I would argue qualify as the great masters I'm looking for. So,
Yes.
And I'm also going to fork history, because it's relevant.
Yes.
And I think that's it. That is. So wait, Chokal the Conqueror was, I assume, based on his name, a conqueror.
Yeah, he's the one who he's the barbarian leader who came from Ibarria and basically subjugated Isia and Rosalind into Brevoy.
Cool. I will then argue that I could fork war-wise.
Okay.
Because his legacy seems to be one of war.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5, and then I'll take a 6th forking astrology. And let's do a obscure history test, Op 3.
Got them forks.
Okay, thank God.
Nice.
I did it, coach.
All right. So here are some.
Wait, did you roll perception?
I did. That means I can't fork. That's a good point.
Right.
Oh.
Let's do it again. This time, let's do it with Gusto and also Arthur. Oh yeah, and plus 2 dice for successfully researching.
Yeah, but no forks. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was really confused for a second.
Yeah, I was too. Also, I definitely mucked that one up. Oh, that's a lot of ones. Oh, that's ugly. Oh, God, go away. Okay, yeah,
Sorry.
I failed.
Well, you actually failed it.
Yeah, what's the complication?
Hmm.
I forgot to ask because I'm...
Oh, well, the complication would be that...
They're like
well,
really
obviously,
obscure.
is that you're looking through the book here, and you're looking through that journal, right? The journal of the strategist, right?
Oh, yeah?
Like his aide-de-camp, essentially. There are pages missing.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's so good.
There's pages missing, especially around certain points. Here's your next step. This is your history is pointing you to Skywatch and saying that Coral did something at Skywatch.
Oh, that's so good.
And then those pages are missing, and then it like goes to the next section about like the next conquest, right? Like meeting with the Sertovans and like how they ended up joining sides with them to fight to the valley, culminating to the valley of fire, right?
I want to email AP and be like, you think Sam becoming the prophet derails the course of events? I'm gonna travel 700 miles eastward.
Yeah. So Skywatch is the first Cyclopean thing of note that Coral reaches, and those pages are missing in this account.
All right. Cool. So I come to understand, like, I find like a couple of references, but it all points to like these are like the 3 people whose knowledge you need the most. Sadly, the pages are missing.
Those exactly. Like they're planning to meet with, and then the pages are gone. Like they're like, we're meeting up to Skywatch, and Coral seems very eager to meet with the tenants of Skywatch, and there's clearly like the list is supposed to be there, but those things are missing.
Delightful.
Yes. So the hoarders of Skywatch will be the next big question.
So good.
Cool. All right.
Right. So that is what I do until I get a visit.
Yeah. And I think at that point you get a knock, another like very wistful rap on the door, and it's the Pharasman tutor. Actually, can you circles them for me? No,
I
actually,
don't-
no.
I don't
Would it
know
would
them.
it would it make more sense?
Is there a conflict in acquiring their presence, seeing as it is?
Well, I'm thinking about their disposition to you, being like, do they? Because
Oh, you can just decide that. I don't mind.
yeah, no, I don't think yet. I don't think there will be one yet. But I think we're going to. You're going to have that talk with them, next session because we just got to the 3rd hour mark. And we'll probably just kind of wrap up here with fate and stuff. Is that cool?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
I'll give you fate for that. I mean, when we talk about that belief, because like you work towards it and you got it right. Is that okay?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I would have liked to pursue it, but I'm fine with us wrapping
Yeah.
up.
I was just thinking that, like, honestly, like, now my second 2 beliefs, like, I, like, have pretty much made it so that I can't really pursue them in the same way at all.
Yeah. This was a crazy session. This was a lot of moving parts today.
So I guess
This was like this was like a leap game today, a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right, let's talk about some Artha. Okay. So, Sam,
Yes.
Prophet Sulius. Let's look at your beliefs here. All in the strong wall shelter humanity from the storm. Avatar has rewarded my faith. I must not let bureaucrats in the church weasel out of this. They shall formally declare me the Lord's prophet and Swan his chosen. Persona.
Yes. I don't think any of the others are at all applicable here.
Not anymore.
But I'm hoping that I can maybe get some fate for either the character trait devout or faithful. Because, you know, I feel like devout played a lot into his decision to renounce that.
Oh yeah.
So, and then also I was thinking I have a 2-die affiliation with the Church of Abadar. I don't know if you want to wait till the trait vote to deal with my affiliation with Al Surtova and House of Abadar, but it seems like those things have changed.
Yeah.
You don't have to. So you vote on reputations, but affiliations can change, like as part of reputations. Technically, can too. They can respond to things that happen directly. In this case, once word spreads that you are a prophet, I think you should definitely immediately take an increase in affiliation.
Yeah, we'll have that fixed for next session.
Okay, and then also for next session, I'll come up with a good list of titles for the prophet.
Okay. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cool. All right, Mason.
Right. So, I finished my 3rd belief. I have expended this tower's knowledge of the vanishing, and now need to look elsewhere.
Yes, Persona.
Yeah. I did not pursue the 2nd belief, but it kind of happened. Like it completed itself.
Yes.
Should I take Persona?
No,
I guess I got in trouble.
You didn't
for it.
act. No, because it happened without you acting towards it.
Yeah, I feel like it's complete, but I don't feel like it's my decision that it's complete.
Exactly. It's not. So,
All right.
And so I don't think you earned anything for it.
No. I think the first one, you said fate. I kind of want to say it's resolved because on like the harassment has arrived.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
can now see the guidance, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
If I start with this the next session, it is not going to matter.
Yeah, Persona it then. Yeah.
Then always accept a worthy task. I definitely did that, and I'm definitely in trouble for doing it. I am now locked in the tower instead of saying, you know what, fuck you, I'm out.
Yep. Last shot before backing down. Yeah, I mean with the queen.
Yeah, I guess
I think
that
I
also
blamed it on something else.
The
Which
Two-Face.
didn't you didn't really play up the last instinct. No, it also didn't really happen in a way.
I didn't have anyone to blame. I was like, fuck, obscure. Actually, I guess Mason quietly blames whoever took the pages, but don't understand who that is. So
yeah.
Then I guess I should Arrogant seems like that played into the instincts for getting him into trouble with the queen. I was very familiar with her, and she didn't take kindly to it.
Yeah, you actually. So hold on, I think Demetrius slash Prophet Sulius would actually earn Mold Breaker. Probably.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. I was gonna bring that up because I acted pretty directly counter to Belief 2 and 3.
Yeah. And it was dramatic.
Yes. So the Prophet Aurelius will take another extra persona. Hallowed be his name.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? My curiosity did not advance the Doom prophecy, so my curious trait did not get me in trouble. I did not invoke Risk Taker, though I think I definitely acted Risk Taker-ish in this session and got punished for it.
Yep.
All right. So that is 2 Persona and 4 Fate.
That's pretty good.
It works.
Who of you two think earns embodiment?
Oh God, I think Demetrius earns embodiment. I was very into that.
Thank you. I will definitely take that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's my first time winning embodiment, so thanks, guys.
Woo! Okay. Then that's all the Artha today. Oh boy, this game's crazy. I love this game. I love how
truly is.
Yeah. Okay. Then that's it for today. So, Sam, what are you doing this week?
On Wednesday, I will be streaming. I haven't quite decided what I will be streaming just yet, but keep a lookout. Maybe some Shardbound, maybe some XCOM 2. Probably not Torment Tides of Numenera because it was a little bit too much reading. Other than that, thank you all very much for coming by. This was a ton of fun. I really did not see where this was going coming here, where this ended up going, rather. Yeah, I'm excited to. I feel like every time we like mess up a bunch of stuff and we're like, all right, like excited to see how we work this out next time, and then instead of like working anything out, we just like throw more stuff into the fire and just watch it all burn.
Test leads to tests.
Yeah, but it's been fun. Yeah, I love this game. I always have a blast playing Burning Wheel, so I appreciate you running the game, Eric. It's been great.
Thanks, man. Yeah. No, I'm sorry that Niren is so good and gave you that horrible choice.
Yes. Also, I forgot to say it, twitch.tv/wizardfool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Cool. Daniel.
Hi, everyone. So, I have been Daniel. And when I'm not putting my fellow players on an ice float with my stupid ideas, I play some role-playing games here with EricVulgaris, and I play them on youtube.com/charisma2ac, where we play some Werewolf the Apocalypse and some Masks, A New Generation, and even some Dark Heresy. So things going on over there. Other than that, you can follow me at Daniel Akbas on Twitter. I will put that in the chat in a second. But yeah, that's me doing nerdy role-playing stuff and generally having a blast of it.
Yeah, that's me too, man. I'm having a blast playing with you guys. You guys are some really strong role players, and I love it. I love how I can be so almost not necessarily passive but reactive. I like how player driven. And our sort of style of play is with this game. It's very different than a lot of other games where it's like, oh, I want to have this scene where we're doing that. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Or being like, not so fast, we're having a scene about this thing beforehand. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe because I started this game after reading Dogs in the Vineyard, and I was like thinking like, well, we're gonna have the important parts only. So that, yeah, kind of like that kind of stuff. But anyways, I love this game a lot.
Burning Wheel is really good.
Yeah.
You have the beliefs are just an ingenious like mechanical decision. Like design wise, RPG wise, it's just a great it's the best decision for making character oriented play. Because it's always just like every scene that gets framed is just like you wanted this, and it led to this, and now you wanted this other thing.
And I think we saw a perfect example of that in the fact that it's like, I got everything I wanted for one belief, and in doing so, had to just like completely turn my back on the other two.
Yeah,
and that was awesome.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because the big thing that we all want, I think the big catch up that we get caught up with Burning Wheel in general is that we want to play Burning Wheel, doing this other thing, and then somehow like, oh, how did our beliefs interplay this way, rather than starting with the beliefs and working out to like what would be a scene that uses this belief, rather than here's a scene and how do I fit this belief into the scene. It's usually the other way around, and that's kind of takes a little bit of getting used to.
It starts as a cute little stump and it grows into a massive hangman tree with a noose hanging from every damn branch that you can fall down and strangle yourself with. Yeah,
if I was and to any future Burning Wheel GMs out there, definitely ask your players to write and finalize their beliefs of before play. For us, we do Saturday, right? Saturday nights, like lock in your beliefs, unless it's like a really minor change or something like that, right? But like, for me to prep, I need to have your beliefs there so I can start thinking like, oh, how can I pit this scene with other people together based on what we're doing? And that's how I do the game here, and that's super fun. And if you want to, so that's it anyways. And feel free to hang out with us in our Discord. Talk to us about the games. If you like this, leave us comments and just follow us here. And what time is it now? It's 2:30 now Pacific time. In 2.5 hours from now, I'm going to be over at twitch.tv/Henley when we're starting a new game called Fortune Sons, which is a one-on-one Stars Without Number game where we're going to be co-GMing it, essentially, where we're going to have like a troupe of characters and doing like solo play with the faction turn kind of uniting it all. So if you ever played like Remember Tomorrow, where you have sort of like this, we characters have goals, and then we'll see them kind of like enter the game and then leave the game a little bit, and just kind of follow these multiple interacting story arcs, almost like The Expanse. You can kind of think of it that way, like all these multiple storylines going off with this major faction turn kind of shaping the world. So that's what we're going to be doing.
The world's most involved game of more time.
Yeah, in a way, it very much is like that. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun sandbox, and we're doing that in 2.5 hours. So I'll tweet about it. So that's it today. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next week. See ya.